let's transition into the second topic about free speech under siege in Ghana. Is it really the case that the governing NDC is weaponizing state security apparatus to actually attack opposition elements, in the NPP in particular? Samia Uku and the NPP have been talking a lot about this. Let's listen to them and let's come back into the studio and let's get into this conversation about whether or not the NPP is right on their claim that the NDC has put free speech under siege.
This is what Abronye is alleged to have said. You are not a judge, but rather a politician. You have covered your hair with a sack and claim you are a judge. Having tweeted from the NDC, labeling the judiciary as unanimous FC. In fact, I remember when after the 2020 presidential elections petition, the press conference by the then opposition leader, now the president, it was bizarre. It was attacks and insults directed at the judiciary. And this was the mantra. It became a campaign message from the NDC. On so many platforms, they labeled judges as MPP judges, MPP judges. And indeed, the president himself then, during the NDC lawyers conference, mentioned that he was going to overhaul the judiciary and that it is full of MPP lawyers, MPP judges. So what is different? How is that statement different from this? How is that statement different from this? This attempt and this culture introduced by this government to criminalize and suppress free speech is quite alarming. And I think that all must speak against this. Look, we have strength of cases where, for instance, the David Asando case, he only posted on his Facebook page a billboard with the image of the president with the inscription, Dumso is back. And he was arrested by 10 well-built men with sophisticated guns, masked, armed to the teeth. And David Asando was just whisked in a car. The family never knew where they were taking him to. And they drove all the way to Accra. In fact, the following day, we visited BNI. They said they have no idea. They have no knowledge of his arrest. We went to CID. In fact, the CID, we went to Cybercrime Unit. We went to Special Investigation Unit. They said they have no idea. And then we went to National Security. They also said they have no idea. Then we went to National Signals Bureau. Then just when they had also indicated that they have no idea, we received a call that he's been taken to BNI, so we should come there because they are preparing to interrogate him. I mean, where from this unfortunate introduction of these tactics to suppress free speech? Why is the president so pretending over such ill matter? I don't just get it. And we are going to rise up. Trust me, in the coming days, we are going to stage a mammoth demonstration. We are going to have series of activities. There are so many important matters, so many issues going on in this country, and then what you can just focus your attention to is to harass and politically intimidate the opponent. We can never be intimidated. This is what Abronye is alleged to have said.
That is Nana B. Henry Nana Boakye, the national organizer of the New Patriotic Party. The MPP said to hold a mammoth protest, in his words, to demand that the NDC stops attacking free speech in the country. So, Rashid Tango Computer, why is your government abusing the rights of ordinary Ghanaians, particularly NPP supporters and MP members? Why are you going after them? Why must Abronye spend 2 weeks in jail on remand because he criticized a judge or even insulted a judge? Why must the Sando be in police custody because he said Dumso is back? Tanko, if you can unmute.
My brother.
Yeah.
This is far from the truth. The NDC government is a respecter of free speech. We respect the Constitution. We respect the liberties of every Ghanaian. But you see, we need to correct recalcitrant and reckless individuals in this country and keep them online. We don't have to join. In fact, let me even use the right way. We don't have to toy with our democracy. The democracy you and I are enjoying, we want the generation to come to also enjoy the same democracy. But you see, some people have made it that in their mind, so long as we are not in power, we must make sure that we destabilize the democracy that we have. Such reckless people will not be allowed to have the freedom that everybody is enjoying. And let me put it on record. If you want to hide behind political party and think that you can disturb the peace of this country, the state security will come after you. Know where your freedom ends. Look, the judiciary must be respected. Look, I don't know whether some people are read or they are brought up properly. Because imagine you just sit down, take your phone, because now data is very cheap. We have lowered the price of data when we came into office. So a lot of people can now have data. They just sit in the comfort of their room and start writing all manner of garbage. You see, that is not what we are looking at. And I'm saying that, look, I respect NPP a lot. The party that was led by Venerable Darocha, Odoesai, Janice Selby, and others, those days, when they were talking about national issues, policies, you sit down and listen to them, and you pick ideas from them. It was so beautiful. But of late, what are we seeing? It appears the current NPP is a shadow of itself. And I respect their leaders, in fact, the elders of the party. Why are we not arresting them? Can they call their boys to order? Anytime we go and pick up somebody, just go and listen to what the person has put out there. And then you get to know that it's just because of our culture and tradition. Yeah, but otherwise, they would have thrown this country into flames.
That is speech. People are speaking. If people are saying something that is defamatory of people or saying something, I mean, the mere speech should not put people in jail, Tanko. Won't you agree? Is that not the same position?
No, I'm saying that we are not just saying that we just, the security will just go and pick you and put you into a jail. No. You have your day in court. And so they have to process you first. And then you go and sometimes they do these things within the shortest possible time. You see them issuing this thing, apology, and kneeling on their knees and apologizing profusely. That's what they have been doing. Look, if we are going to do what we call comparison, I don't think the MPP should be a political party that should be talking about a freedom of speech.
Yeah.
The MPP should not even come near it at all.
I mean, do you have specific instances under the NPP that you say that they abused the free speech of Ghanaians, particularly, and if you have examples, is that not what you promised, that you're going to do a reset? So if you a reset and you are repeating the same things the NPP did, then we are just continuing.
Let me ask you, you are a journalist.
Yes.
Since we came into power, tell me, which journalist has run away from this country because of his life? Tell me. Your own colleagues were running out of this country under their regime.
I mean, you are referring to Manasseh and the NPP?
Of course, was that what the serious matter? Journalists even lost their life in this country. Has that happened in this country currently? But I'm just telling you that what people are doing, they're just being reckless. Some people are just being reckless. And I'm saying that my colleagues, leaders in the NPP, to advise their communicators. Look, You cannot be popular with this kind of behavior. Look, by insulting elders, insulting leaders, it's not politicking. That is not the case. I've been in this game for well over, in fact, since 1992, we started in Democrats. I've lived through all this thing. Why would I go and insult my political leaders? Awole is here. He's an MPP communicator. I don't have a history of him directly insulting a leader of the party or anybody. So why would somebody come after him? Can't he also tell his other young guys who are coming up that, look, you can make your case, you can criticize the government, all right, say what you want to talk about the government that we are not doing well, we are fine with it. Me, anytime they criticize me, they say a lot of things like that, I just laugh. Where I think that, yes, what they are saying is right, I need to change my style in something, I'll take it on board. But to just open my mouth and start insulting leaders, insulting MPP leaders, saying all manner of things, I'm brought up by a family.
Right, thank you.
A tradition and culture that says that I should respect elders and know that leaders are born. In fact,
thank you. I'll come to you. I think you have a lot to say.
Muslim.
Yes, I'll come to you because
and he goes. When we talk of leadership, why we should respect leaders, the Quran talks about it.
Okay.
And then therefore, if people are doing this thing, people should not hide because they want to be voted as executive of their political party. Anytime a recalcitrant is picked, then they all troop into the police stations or the court to try to bring them out, just to make the market themselves, because election is coming up. Let's stop this.
He's justified, is he not? He's saying that some of the comments that are being made, some of the things that are being said, go beyond free speech. Some of them go into criminality. And if anything, these people have their day in court. And when they do, it is not the government. For instance, if Abronye is remanded for 2 weeks, that is a decision of a judge, not the government.
Yeah, so you see, I will premise my submission with what Samson Ladi Ayeni did 2 weeks ago. Samson Ladi, in his Samson's take, publicly said that he, as a journalist and as a lawyer, what he has seen in the last 16 months surpasses, is 10 times what happened under Akufo-Addo 80 years. This is what Samson Ladi said. You listen to him, the video is there and everyone could see it. You see, the issue is that if someone makes any libelous statement or defamatory statement, you don't use police to arrest that person. You send the person to court and the person is charged. You remember at a point in time when Delegate did a story against Asiedu Nketia, he went to court. He went for a defamatory suit. Yeah. He won the case. You remember the Kwasi Abinti issue. You understand? So it is clear that if someone defames you, the best thing you do is for you to go to court. You see, if you look at what had happened in the last 8 years of our administration, and if you check what people wrote on social media and the things that people said, you say that indeed President Akufo-Addo is a saint.
No, you arrested Bawumia because he said some land belonged to the First Lady. You arrested a couple of people like that.
Okay, so Bawumia sat on radio and said the First Lady and the Second Lady had stole public land and they are building a private property on it.
Yeah. If it's a lie, why wouldn't the First Lady and Second Lady sue him for defamation like you said?
So he was arrested to come and substantiate. There was a complainant that go and substantiate the allegation that indeed they have stolen state lands.
But is it not the same?
It's not defamatory. It's not defamatory.
No, if somebody says you've stolen a land, you cannot arrest somebody and bring him in to come and help you investigate. Yes. So you could bring them in and say, oh, come and bring evidence that this person has stolen land. So that one, he's helping the police to investigate.
Exactly. That's
but you don't arrest the person. You call him in for investigation.
So you see, I'll get there. But what I'm saying is that this is it. But you see, in 2017, Apia Stadium said President Akufo-Addo, I don't want to repeat it here.
Yeah.
He was arrested. And the information minister issued a statement that the president is not interested, so he should be released.
Yeah.
We were in this country when President Mahama nicknamed Akufo-Addo Jack Toronto. You remember?
Yeah.
Nothing happened. You were in this country when Samuel Hunto, sat on TV, on radio, and said, President, he is praying that Akufo-Addo go and die in one of the numerous trips. Nobody arrested him. Nobody even invited him. But some ladies in Kumasi spoke about the tragedy in Obuasi. They spent 20 days in custody. Priscilla and Gloria also. They spent 20 days in custody. They said similar things. They spent 20 days in custody. Now, you remember when there was a demonstration when they said, Kum nana do maye, ready, kum nana do maye. These are figures like Sami Jenfi and so on. They were not arrested. Nothing happened. You understand?
Yeah.
There were numerous. When I'm doing the comparison together with what our people are saying. Now, David Esando, who posted a picture and said, Dumso is back. You go and kidnap him in Swedru. In the morning, his family, the party were looking for him. We went to headquarters, you said he was not there. We went to even BNI, you still said he was not there. Until later when our people started agitating before you were able to release him. The question I am asking myself is, all those who were arrested last year, all those who were arrested between last year and this year, which of the cases are currently in court? You remember Adenta Kumi?
Yeah.
Adenta Kumi alleged that he went to a restaurant and met the Chief Justice together with some judges.
Yeah, some judges.
He has video to it. They went and arrested him. They took 20 people. He even petitioned the president. They took 20 security officers to go and arrest him. Just after his arrest, within the day, we released the video. And they released him, and they didn't pursue the case again because he was telling the truth. There were excesses in our time, during our time, which I do not really discount that. And I must say that indeed the police did that. You remember the Occupy Jolobi protest?
For the judgment this week.
Yes, there's a judgment this week that they manhandled the 3 people. It is not that the police did not do their work. The police, when they said they were organizing demonstration, they sought police protection. The police said, we cannot protect you. The police went to court to secure an injunction. So the police went there to disperse them. And because there was an unlawful assembly. In the process of that, there were excesses. And they were able to really manhandle 3 of them. And they got the judgment just 3 days ago. So what we are saying is that if you look at the number of people who have been arrested and the kinds of things that they have done, compared to people who had done worse, but nothing happened to, look at Baba Amando.
Okay.
Baba Amando posted a picture caricaturing president and the other people.
Yeah.
Now, he was arrested from Sunyani. He was brought to Accra and was sent to Adenta Court. And you see, our problems are numerous because we have one, that even the judges that are chosen to determine the cases of our people, why is it that all the 14 people that were arrested, they are sent to only 2 courts?
Okay.
Why is that possible?
We'll get into the court.
Adenta and Court 9. Why is that
Solomon, Awa has a point that, that, I mean, the NDC is just acting in a way that is putting free speech under such a major threat. Do you agree? Do you not agree with him?
I think he himself, when you ask him about Bobby Ansah's arrest,
Yeah, I want you to compare which one you have done that is similar to Bobby Ansah, that's all.
Yeah. When you ask him about Bobby Ansah's case, that it was a case of defamation and it didn't cause for arrest, he was just fumbling and explains how difficult it is when you decide not to be principled. The truth of the matter is that I am against any arbitrary arrest. I mean, if you believe that someone has said something that is libelous, that is criminal in nature, there is a proper way of inviting the person. If the person refuses to attend to your invitation, then you have every right to go after the person, and not this Rambo style. We make people heroes out of nothing. For you to hear the lies of Nana B, who is really campaigning, it's not for the interest of those that have been arrested. It is a matter of he using the platform to campaign for his vice chairmanship position. That is all to it. Did you hear him say, "Oh, we are going to engage in series of..." I don't envy Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. This series of demonstrations comes with money. That's why they prepare the fat budget, then go and spend the old man there. So I don't envy. But the truth of the matter is that our past should guide us into the future. That is why I was expecting Awa to distance himself. Some of these matters is those of us who are in the United Party and other activists that can speak to it. Because your own record is not good at all. You know Salamatu Muhammad, a 40-year-old mother of 4 who posted on social TikTok. He made a viral video that the economy in 2022 was so turbulent, hardship was real, and that the government must do something about it, else she's praying that Nanado dies. She was arrested. She was immediately arrested. What about Mensa Thompson? Asepa. For saying that the president's daughters flew with the presidential jet to London and then shopped with it. He was arrested. Bobi Ansa has already been there. Hope Sinadoye was arrested. Now, beyond that, we are talking about free speech. His own party, the MPP, they are so guilty in this instance. In 2023, you remember when the youth wing of the MPP stormed the UTV studios that they were going to attack A+? I mean, what are we talking about? So they must be the last political party with individuals talking about this situation. That someone was on live TV expressing his opinion. A political party's youth wing saw the need to go and attack him. They entered the studios live. You saw it. What about you, the media? You have had your own fair share. Until recently, they had boycotted a media general. You remember Buga on that press conference when he threw away their microphone. The entire media general journalists, their lives were in harm's way when it came to the matters to do with the MPP. Your own station here, recently, Yoko, when one of your journalists was reporting live, he was attacked by the MPP supporters. So you must be the last political party to be making noise about it. In any case, I do not support it, but what are the numbers? What are the figures we are dealing with? How many people are involved for us to create a situation as though there is a deliberate, as a one-time pursuit of a political activist? He could only mention about 3 people. Is that not the case? 14. Fantastic. 14. That's good. 14. On a single day, the Jolobi demonstration, they arrested 50. Subtract 50 from 40.
It was a soup. It was a soup. They were doing unlawful assembly, not demonstration. It was not a demonstration. 50, you covered the story.
50 minus,
it's a different thing.
50 minus 14 is 36.
Oliver.
So no, you see, there is a difference of 36.
I'll come back to you.
You see, that's why when you are speaking, you must address your mind to what has happened in the past, so that you don't open yourself for criticism. You understand? I just gave you 1 day 50. You are crying here. I haven't even gotten to the other side. Get a Galam say.
Oliver
and Co. What happened to them? But some of us are not interested. That's why when I saw the former vice president write what they did, I said, how? The political handlers...
That's a flag bearer of
the political handlers are not helping him at all. Something is amiss somewhere. See, who are those effecting the arrest? Is it not the police?
Yeah.
The vice president, was he not the chair of the police council for 8 solid years?
Yeah.
8 solid years. And as a council, they provide directions, reforms for the management to implement. Is that not the case?
That is so.
So the question, it tells you how incompetent he has been when he was the chair of the police council. Because if you really reform the police, would we be having what we're having? The gentleman they have been using to arrest, the Dapa, he has been the same person who was arresting people in the past.
What sort of reforms took place? So my attitude to this is that take out the politics and go after the institution. By now, the police administration must be answering to us why they effected these arrests.
Yeah.
But as usual, this is
a political footballing matter. Then the police is let off the hook.
That is the point. But you see, it advantages the MPP because you have a political party that really wants to win power. The focus will be on the economy. Let's discuss the economy. They have realized that they have lost that battle. So let's engage ourselves in these peripherals. And the government of the day is also falling for it. The government of the day, I am expecting them to be calling the police institution to answer. Why you have to, for instance, go and pick someone who made a post about someone being a gay or why must you arrest that person? Bawumia himself has come to tell you that he's seeking asylum. He wants to leave this country to either reside in Germany, see the countries he chose, either Germany, Canada, US. The man is trying to get that foundation, have the basis for him to seek asylum because he had realized that there is no hope in the MPP again. And if he's going to put his eyes on this flag bearer, life will be so difficult. So he wants to leave. So every day he must do something that will cause some sort of instability in the system. If I were this administration, I'll leave him. But if you go contrary to the law, let the laws work. I keep saying that if a policeman comes to arrest me, I will not make it a political football. If I know that it's a malicious arrest, I will sue the police. Are they not going to pay money to the Jolobi protesters? Yeah. So let's restrict by its pure politics. Much ado about nothing. The MPP has no say. In fact, they must keep quiet on this matter.
Evan.
And let voices of conscience.
Yeah, Kwaku, I've always been a believer of democracy because I believe that in a democracy, we need to activate a discourse that will define the path we choose as a country. So always there may be dissenting views, different ideologies. So, but the differences in between lines the sort of the strength that we can leverage to build whatever that we want to build as a country. So I've always said that if you look at democracy, the differences in opinion, the dissenting views, those kind of are the building blocks that we can use to build a democracy. So I always appreciate people to always have their views on matters and on how we can progress. So for the MPP to conclude that Ghana, a certain climate of intimidation has been activated under John Mahama, and for that matter, people have been arrested here and there. So sometimes the people just decide to bundle all the issues together and just decide to cash political capital out of it because the issues in question are different issues altogether. If you look at the case of Bawumia, has nothing to do with libel. That somebody will pick him and say, I am suing you for this.
We made it against a judge.
Yes, a judge.
So why is it not contempt of court so that the court can haul him in instead of letting them? Because is that not the point Solomon is making?
Okay.
That it appears that the government is taking the bait.
No.
There are more important things to talk about. So the police is under the Interior Ministry. It's a governmental agency.
Yes.
If the Interior Minister or the AG is to issue directives to the police that don't do A, B, C, or D, they will comply. Why are you arresting?
Oh, definitely. So some of the arrests have been very unnecessary. For instance, the guy who posted Dumso has returned. You see, I've always accused the police in the past that they end up using state machinery to advertise some of these.
And the point is that the police is the constant in this nation. I mean, the government will go and come. The police will be there. He mentioned the police officer involved, Mr. Dapa.
Definitely.
They're always there. You will lose and then they will take you out of they will take you out.
Exactly. That is the point. So my point was, so in the case of Bawumia, I think he has been remanded 2 weeks. It wasn't because of the ongoing case. I'm told he was scheduled to come to court. He failed.
No.
And that is what the judge, that is the that is what I heard.
No, the charge sheet is there.
That is what I heard.
It's
just allow me to make your point. So that is what I heard. Whether it is true or not.
It's not true.
But for me, if it is not true, then it will be highly unreasonable for somebody who is facing trial to ask the person to be reminded and come 2 weeks.
It's not even 2 weeks, so He's saying that
it's 2
until
weeks.
the determination of the case.
I think-
But the next agenda date is 2 weeks. That's why the media reported
it's 2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks. So you
go before the judge.
You give me a break and let me do what I'm doing. So you see, so when you bundle all these issues together, we can make progress and say some of these things, some are very unnecessary, but there are some of the issues you can also overlook. For instance, you have somebody threatening the president. The security will obviously move in.
Yeah.
You understand?
Threats of fiscal harm.
Exactly. And the problem is that when this gentleman issue came up, like the Fanti comedy threatened the president on, you have the former vice president moving in to consult these individuals that give these people a certain political legitimacy to be continuing doing what they are doing. You understand? So for Dr. Bawumia today to come around for the same person who has been energizing the sponsor, the shadow sponsor behind the scenes, giving energy and publicity to some of these things, and today turn around to condemn the actions coming aftermath, then people will not see you as a credible candidate. Especially this is a candidate, or this is that is a candidate with a battered credibility considering what happened the last 8 years. You are out there just to rebuild yourself, to connect to Ghanaians. Oh, come on.
Of course.
Were you in China?
Are you shocked?
Were you in China? Were you in China when the economy
Was he in charge of the day-to-day?
What are you talking about? Look at this.
Look at this.
Are you ignorantly saying that the vice president was in charge of the
Quiet.
The vice president.
Are you ignorantly saying this here?
EMT.
Exactly.
The president.
It's an advisory.
No, don't you take that.
Vice president was very much involved. He was the one taking the decisions. He was
the one in charge of the
President
Akufo-Addo
had said that he will have put
He has no credibility when it comes to the economic process.
President Akufo-Addo.
What are we talking about?
President Akufo-Addo.
This is stupendous ignorance. I'm telling you.
Everybody is ignorant.
Yes, but if not ignorance, who will tell you that
quiet.
the vice president, who is the vice chairman of
running away from that.
Not that. I'm not saying. You said he's in charge of the day-to-day administration of the economy.
Did I say?
Why? But you said he's destroyed the economy.
He destroyed.
He destroyed the economy.
But who is in charge of the day-to-day?
You see, he's just
Vice president destroyed.
Why is it that he's not being called?
gentleman.
Called by
Quiet and let me make
You're talking about finance minister being pursued, and you're saying that the vice president.
So the fact of the matter is that as such a character with a damaged reputation,
No damage.
you will need to build credibility.
Absolutely.
And connecting to the people is very key, very essential.
Dr. Bawumia is
So I would
more
have
credible than
expected
any
Dr.
politician in this
Bawumia
country.
to be starting connecting to people, build bridges, because as it stands now, if you look at the communication strategy of the FPP, it has been a bit of aggression laced with a bit of ignorance and some sort of way. You don't even know the direction. They think that the NDC did this, so let us go that particular brutal way. But you see, politics, Solo said, comparative analysis has always been part of it. If you go back to the past and look at people who were arrested, some were not even arrested. Bongo Ideas was kidnapped. Such a poor young man was kidnapped from his home. There is this woman working at the airport. Sources were that he denied the national signal
lady.
Exactly. She was kidnapped. She was abducted. This one, they were not arrested though. And go and speak to Bongo Ideas. The ordeal they took him through. Where was Dr. Bawumia? Did he issue statement?
He was the chair of the police council.
Arrested?
Then.
You see, he who comes into equity must come with clean hands. And political credibility is very, very, very important, because I'm telling you, if you look at this day and time, the average ordinary consumer of this political enterprise is very assertive, very intelligent. That old political playbook where people think that the affinity has always been ethnocentrism, tribalism, those things are gone. People are looking at development-oriented policies, options that work best in their state. So you cannot be launching or leveraging some of these petty when you yourself are super guilty of what or some of these
Just
things.
a quick one. But is that not why the NDC said they were coming to reset the country? So let's assume for a minute that the MPP is guilty of all the excesses you have accused them of. Should the NDC do the same, or even a small part of it? Because the NDC must live, CJ's wife must live above reproach.
You see, it's just a political exaggeration of the situation, because there is nothing like free speech being kept.
Yes, so the NDC is taking the bait of the NPP, like Solomon has said. You have economy, you have other things to focus on. Why are you arresting anybody? So if the AG as of yesterday, could have filed the nollie prosequa and asked Abronye to go home. And
I'm saying that if you look at some of the cases, they border on security.
Okay.
And the president may not directly give directive, but the security operative will act. For instance, because if you look at some of the things these guys are saying, some are very dangerous.
Which ones? Which ones?
For instance, the gentleman who threatened the president.
Which one?
In the how do you call it? The aircraft.
The aircraft.
The aircraft case. And there are several of such instances.
What did he say?
Abronye was sitting directly insulting the judge, telling him that he is an NDC judge.
Yeah, but if he says that, I mean, Kevin Taylor says the same thing against Justice Chamber.
The president.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is that the thing is before a court.
Okay.
A court of competent jurisdiction that is overseeing some of these things.
Unless you want the former vice president, that even makes the matter worse.
I'll come to
So I just chanced on it. My goodness. Okay, let me.
What did he say?
The last paragraph. To patrons around the country, I urge you all to stay firm by refusing to succumb to intimidation while continue your civic duty to hold the government accountable to you.
Yes.
You know the civic duty.
That's all.
Why are these people being arrested? Insult, threats here and there. What the former vice president is telling them is that continue insulting, continue threatening. We dare your back, Pampi.
You have understanding.
I'll come around. I want to go to the studio.
Let me end.
It's so serious.
Then I'll come to
my principal position is that I am not for this unnecessary arrest.
Okay.
Because you end up using state resources to hype some of these quote-unquote people making those reckless comments. So we need to stop doing that. But the thing is that the people making a mountain out of this are themselves thousand times guilty of this. And they lack the moral audacity to be doing some of this. The moral audacity.
Let's go to the studio.
It's not that we are supporting it.
Thank you very much. I disagree with Mr. Tanko when he said the NDC did not train people to insult. Because when I was some judge, he insulted the former president. He called him useless and stupid. And he's now a minister. He's now a minister. And also I disagree with Solo for saying Dr. Bawumia is trying to tell the NPP people to continue insulting.
That's what he said.
No. Then if it's not the case, it means Mama is also trying to encourage.
I'm not talking about Mama.
No. Then if that's the case, you refer to the past.
So you also be interjecting studio guests.
We are doing. Leave them to also speak.
Stop interjecting studio guests.
You brought in the past.
Fantastic.
So
pay attention to him. Pay attention to the
some judge also said it in the past, and then he has been promoted to become a minister now.
That is wrong.
I said it was useless, and he's not a minister. He insulted the Kufuor as member of parliament.
Why did he say that?
Last 2 years, he said the president is useless and stupid, and he's not a minister. So should I say Mama is also encouraging insults? No, I won't say that.
No, but let's
no. Please. What I'll say is that the president is now behaving like a modern day Idi Amin.
Hey.
Yeah, like a modern day Idi Amin, like a dictator.
Who?
The president.
The president.
Yeah, like a modern day Idi Amin. He's putting fear into us. The research that talk about this is not what we are seeing. Just a post, Dunso is back, and then 10 well-built men with armed men want to arrest one person just because he made a post about Dunso is back. This is very serious. Our democracy is under attack, and we as Ghanaians, we are not going to sit down. We have to rise and let the president know that we voted for him to become a president. He didn't become a president through coup. It was through democracy, through elections, that he became president. So you should just know what to do. You should do the right thing and keep delivering on his promises. That's what we expect of him. Thank you very much.
Yeah, any other takers?
I'll cut the video.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm going to talk about the arrest of the MP. I think his arrest is very delicate and critical matter. And then for now, it is difficult for us to predict how the outcome will be. But the only thing we can do for now is to pray for him, the Honorable MP, and then pray for Ghana at large. Because at the end, if he's proven guilty and prosecuted, it will tarnish the image of our country. And until he's proven guilty, no one should call him criminal. Basically, this is just my contribution that I have. And again, I want to talk about the Abrono DC issue. I disagree with Ghanaians making a comment that the judges should not be criticized. They should not be above criticism. Because sometimes the way some of them are doing, if we do not criticize them, they will not do the right thing. So let us not make it as if they are untouchable.
Right.
And again, my brother Awol was here making a point that Dr. Bawumia should not. He made a point that Bawumia should not be blamed on what Mr. Solo said. Why is it that under the MPP regime for the 8 years, anything positive, they are giving the credit to Dr. Bawumia, but anything else, which is in a negative form, they are distancing Dr. Bawumia from it.
Right. Thank you.
So, and I want to also make a point that my brother here, he made a point that Muhammad is acting like a modern Idi Amin.
Yeah.
It's not true.
It's not true. Okay, right.
This is the best democracy we are experiencing in Ghana today.
Okay, all right.
Don't tag Nanado as Idi Amin. You should not tag President Muhammad
Okay,
as
thank you.
Idi Amin. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I'll start by addressing something that Mr. Solo said. You know, when we are dealing with democracy, we can't call freedom of speech or free speech a peripheral item or commodity. When you subject democracy on its index, free speech is one of the most important tools that we can think of. But if we are to talk of free speech here, the MPP and the NDC both don't have much to say about it. When you look on the internet, the MPP is making a lot of noise. I'm sorry to use that. And the NDC is also saying, you see, reading from the last 9 years, I can say that when MPP was in power, NDC had something to say about this. And now that NDC in power, MPP is also speaking about this. This should tell Ghanaians that the two parties are subjecting institution to their own play or to their own way of manipulating certain institutions. Because Abronya spoke against I see Abronya's comment as a statement against the judiciary, and the judiciary is an institution that should be autonomous. It should be independent on its own. But because of the way we touch these institutions, we later when we come to opposition, we later come and criticize those institutions. So I think both the MPP and the NDC now should come to the understanding that there are institutions that are supposed to be independent when they come to power.
Thank you.
So that they can play well.
Let me hear from the gentleman in white in front. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. So I think that the 1992 Constitution of Ghana has been very clear, and democracy and freedom of speech is not a trophy that you display as a political party when you are in opposition, and then you discard when you are in power. You see, our democracy is such that, or democracy in totality is such that the texture of it does not feel smooth. Sometimes it is gritty, sometimes it is sandy. And these are some of the things that comes along with it. And that is how it works. For instance, the case of David Esando making a publication of Dumso and then getting arrested. I recently, in a week ago, was in Bui. And we all know that Bui is one of the power sources of our hydroelectric power. But we stayed in a guest house for about 3 days without lights. So should I have written on my social media wall that Dumso is back? Would I have also been picked up? And if that happens, what is going to be the long run effect? Would it be, would there be instances where we get to speak freely or have our opinions on matters on events of our governing system? That is not how it's going to be. And come to think of it.
Briefly, conclude for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And come to think of it, this era where people get picked up by airing their views on events in governance was only prudent in the colonial era. And this was so because the colonial regime were using some of these laws to intimidate people
and subjugate people.
Airing their opinions.
Right.
But as far as the Fourth Republic is concerned, we have moved past the PDA, the PNDC, and we are now in the Fourth Republic. And some of these things should not be happening.
Thank you. Let me hear briefly, the other gentleman and you, 30 seconds each, then we can just, 30 seconds each.
You want to be biased against the lady?
No, people have to raise their hands to speak up.
So, it's not a man's word.
You please speak, 30 seconds.
Man's word.
Be very brief for me. Yeah, let's go.
A man's word.
So I think currently Mahama is trying to be like he's far away from criticism, because I can remember on some program a question was posed to Nanado that how does he take criticisms, and Nanado gave instances whereby he said he has always believed in the fact that people are to be criticized. That's our democracy. But then if I meet Mahama today, the question I'm going to pose on him will be like, how does he take criticism?
Because thank you, Joseph.
Sure.
Thank you, Joseph. Let me hear from you.
Thank you very much. You and I will agree to the fact that one of the tenets of democracy is freedom of speech.
Okay.
And you don't criminalize freedom of speech. We were in this country when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama called a whole tribe, which I'm a factor. I am an Achim Sakawa.
He didn't call the entirety of the Achim.
You see,
he was referring to some.
So if we say the country is going through a reset, and these are some of the things that are ongoing, and this is always noted from the decade of silence. Which political party do you attribute that to? It's the NDC.
Right.
So please, Ghana, if you win an election, Ghana hasn't been willed for you.
Yeah.
It means that you have a role to play. When the next 4 years come, the good people of Ghana will queue to tell you the mandate who they want to take over.
Right, thank you. Tanko Computer, then we come to the studio. Are you going to commit to ensuring that you in the NDC allow more room for rambunctious criticism, even criticism that you don't like? So long as they don't bother on criminality, people must be allowed to vent, they must be allowed to insult if they want. Of course, the public will make of it what they want, but if it's defamatory, people should go to court. The police should not be doing all that. What is your commitment on that? Very briefly for me.
Well, I can assure you that as a government, we are committed to upholding the tenets of the Constitution. Free speech is guaranteed. Indeed, the panelists and then the studio guests, they are all speaking freely. Are they security men standing outside to
well, they say freedom of speech. What about freedom after speech?
I am saying that if you speak recklessly, be rest assured you won't sleep in your house. This is a country we must protect.
So reckless speech is now criminalized? Reckless speech?
No. Who is doing so? Nobody is criminalizing free speech. But I'm saying that if you are reckless, you will not sleep in your house. You know, that one there should be. Why are we bringing up our children there? Then we should just be rearing them. Are we rearing the human beings in the house? We bring them according to our culture and tradition. We train them to respect leadership and culture.
Thank you.
We don't rear human beings, but of late I'm seeing as if some human beings are reared in this country.
Thank you.
That's what we must move away from.
Right.
And I'm saying that, please do your work. Look, constructive criticism is accepted. As a government, we'll take it on board. If you are telling us we are not doing right on this side, we are not doing right, we'll take it on board and see how well we can do the research proper so that you and I will enjoy. But it's not an avenue for you to hide behind your phone or screen and just spew out rubbish.
Thank you.
And say this is free speech.
Thank you, Tanko.
You will not be allowed to get away with this.
You're fair, Tanko.
Yeah.
Quite briefly, as we wrap.
My brother, in as much as I don't really, I don't endorse insults and any other adverse behavior like this, but there's no law in this country that says that if I insult anyone, I can be arrested by a police.
Yeah.
There's no law in this country like that. There's no law that says that if I say anything libelous, I can be arrested by the police. There's
criminal libel law has been repealed.
It has been repealed. You get it. So let's know the boundaries so that we'll be able to really have a decent discourse. I am always for a decent discourse. But you see, Abronye has been arrested by the police. And on the charge sheet, they are saying that he said the judge is a politician and has put a sack on his head. This is on the charge sheet. And interestingly, the complainant is not the judge. It's the police that has seen the video and they are now complaining. No, you see, he is to appear before the same judge.
Yeah.
So if it is anything, leave him. He will appear before the judge and the judge will arrest him. But why will you arrest him, send him? What is the difference between what Abronye said and when the president refers to Supreme Court judges as unanimous FC. What's the difference?
I think difference. I think you have to answer that.
Okay.
No,
yes. Because if you look at what is happening, I have personally condemned in several instances some of these arrests. Some are unnecessary because the security end up using state machinery to hype some of these things. It's totally unnecessary. There are those who have to be dealt with at a certain level that must not even capture national attention. But my point is that it is also not a license for people to go reckless and say anything. You see, we are in an arena where people think that certain physical display of bravado will legitimize your political whatever. Yeah. So people are motivated to say a whole lot of stuff. And that is where Dr. Bawumia comes in as a shadow sponsor of some of these things. And I'm very disappointed in him.
Dr. Bawumia,
he has been around everyone.
Why will he attack Dr. Bawumia on this?
Yeah. Because
why will he attack Dr. Bawumia on this? Dr. Bawumia
is the one going around issuing statements.
Because he will have to support his people.
I was expecting him to issue condemnation.
Why will he condemn the person? For someone arrested because of Dumso, he will condemn that person. Why must he condemn someone who was arrested because of Dumso?
Okay, we have a minute.
Some of these will not win a political.
Someone was arrested because of Dumso, and you are telling us that you should condemn that person.
In 45 seconds.
In 2022, according to the World Press Freedom Index, Ghana placed 60th. In 2023, we placed 62nd. In 2024, we dropped to, I think, 50th. 2025, 52nd. And today, we are at 39th.
Yes, 6 of the incidents happened in NDC headquarters.
A moment.
No,
6
of the incidents happened in NDC headquarters.
In 10 seconds.
So the 39th position is an ample testament that we have made substantial improvement, which deviates from what Awal and his NPP are saying.
Thank you very much.
We will call on the police to do what is right, but the situation is not there. It is just exaggeration.
Exaggeration, simple.
Thank you very much. Solomon Owusu speaks for the UP. Thank you very much, Ivan Kyei Innocent. Thank you very much, Awal Mohammed. And thank you very much for Rashid Tanko Computer. To also our studio guests, thank you very much, as always, for coming in. My name is Kweku Asante. This has been Prime Insight. We'll have another exciting edition for you next week. Show produced by James Aveji and the team. We'll see you again. Have a great weekend.
It's on Facebook.